Good day, guys. Good day to you all. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Formula Sports channel. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. The support, as always, is much appreciated. Seen very much appreciated. Um, this video, not one of the more positive videos that I've done. Not a negative video either. I mean, it's a bad topic that we have to discuss, or a not so pleasing topic that we have to discuss. But I won't drown you guys in negativity, or I will try to not drown you guys in negativity. I'll try my best to keep it as positive as I possibly can. But the display in that particular game was disappointing, to say the least, right? We're talking Jamaica versus Trinidad and Tobago, which ended 0-0 last night at the National Stadium in Kingston Independence Park. And you see the banner at the end of your screen, another disappointing home display. Seeing, and this was the starting lineup on your screen. You see the picture of the team on your screen. With some talented players in there, some young players that have bright futures in there, and some players that we expect to be in the thick of things going forward in the immediate future and in the distant future as well. Seeing, and to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, the performance was not a good one. I mean, look, the draw is not a good result either, right? 1 point in 2 games, 1 point from a possible 6. I had done my little preview and I said that this is a must-win 6 points for the Gaffer. The Gaffer came up with 4. I outlined all the reasons why this was a must-win 6 points for the Gaffer. The Gaffer only came up with 1. I don't know about you guys, but the performance was not very good. If we had gotten a draw and the performance was good, then we could have said, yo, we wouldn't feel so bad. We wouldn't feel so bad. Seeing, we wouldn't feel so bad about this whole thing. Seeing, for starters, the second time out, the team looked flat and disjointed yet again. Yet again, the team looked flat and disjointed. Seeing, in this particular game, way too many players had a bad game. It was one of those games where it was just mistakes galore, errors galore. Like most of the players representing Jamaica just plain and simply had a bad game. It's a while I've seen this. In terms of, I've seen performances. Obviously, we have all seen performances from our national team that fell flat and was poor, and that sort of a thing. And a lot of the times you could look at it from a structural standpoint and see where things was wrong, and also mistakes from players as well. But I can't remember a game from the Reggae Boyz in such a long while where that was such a error-laden game on the part of the players themselves. Normally, when I look at many of the poor performances over the last couple of years, the main issue I usually see is something structural. Even though I saw structural issues in this game, the main issue was just poor performances from the players, man. We're talking about poor passing, especially passes in the final third, especially final passes, right? Under hit, over hit, the passing was terrible. Simple 5-yard passes, and it was mind-blowing just how many times the Reggae Boyz turned over the ball with poor passing. Seeing the team was scrappy in the final third. Very scrappy in the final third. Those final passes were terrible. The movement and the decision making as well in the final third was dreadful. The movement was not good. The decision making was not good. From a structural standpoint, one of the things that I personally saw was the positioning of the players in build-up to break the lines. That was a bit of an issue for me in build up, the team was a little bit rigid. Not a little bit, a good ways rigid. Me I pretty it up when I say a little rigid, a good ways rigid. You could the flexibility that I desire, I did not see. And the flexibility that I think as a Reggae Boyz fan would have helped to better facilitate a good performance from the boys was just not there. A lot of the times the team was struggling to break the lines. One big thing because of the positioning of the players and the movement of the players, but also, just the poor performance from the players, poor passing, poor first touch ball control, man misread the trajectory of the ball, and end up if you change the direction of him run at the last second and just a pack of foolishness. Seeing one of the things that I'm gonna swing the belt a little at, and I shouldn't say swing the belt because it does involve a young player. The movement of the front two was not very good, right? So the positioning was off. I saw improvements in the second half with especially Whisper. It was clear that Whisper was that player in the front two who was supposed to, at times drop a little bit deeper to help to provide that linkage to break the lines, right? And Colin Anderson was the one that made the runs into the channels. Seeing Whisper's positioning did improve. He did okay when he got the ball and provided the best moment of the game, which I had showed in a clip on my channel. Almost scored, undoubtedly the best moment of the game from a Jamaican standpoint, right? And while he did okay when he got on the ball, and was probably one of the better Reggae Boyz on the park, to be fair to him, right? I did see improvements that could be made in his positioning, especially if he's the player tasked with dropping a little bit deeper to provide that linkage. But we're not going to swing the belt on the young man in here at all. He's young, and he has much to learn. And to be fair to him, he was one of the better Jamaicans on the park. And I don't think me alone think that a lot of people, seems to think that. And one of the things from a structural standpoint that I personally would like to see is if you're going to use the front two, have it be a little bit more flexible in terms of, okay, some plays on that side of the pitch, Whisper drops a little bit deeper, Anderson makes the run in behind, and on the other side of the pitch, Anderson drops a little bit deeper, Whisper makes the runs into the channels. Me personally, I didn't see enough of that. So I don't know if the gaffer gave those instructions and they were not followed, they were not implemented. Me personally, I didn't see a lot of that. I don't know if what you guys think about that particular point. One of the major things I had realized with this performance is that the team seemed to have run out of ideas after that initial long ball diagonals plan fell flat. We saw in the first probably half an hour of the game or so, those long, extremely long diagonals being hit to find and isolate wingers against fullbacks. TNT were handling that very well and snuffing out that threat. And it's like the team ran out of ideas after that. Honestly, man, the team looked kind of clueless to me after that. That's how I personally perceive things. Again, too many long balls. Jesus Christ, when we're going to get rid of long balls out of national football, I'm tired of long balls. Look, yeah. I want to see the team put the ball on the ground, man. Too many long balls. Why we can't just put the ball on the ground and string some passes together and build up? We can't see a game where limited amount of long balls. We want to see that from our Reggae Boyz team, right? And, right throughout the game, the quality was poor. But from both teams, especially the Reggae Boyz, in my humble opinion, the game just disintegrated in the second half. I mean, it wasn't very good in the first, in my opinion, but in the second half, it got even worse. Seeing, so those are some of my main key points or main talking points on this particular game that took place last night. Seeing, one of the major things I want to address quickly is surrounding a key player for the future, right? And for the immediate future. Whisper, a key player for the future, you know, not the immediate future, though, I don't think. Omari Hutchinson is one for the immediate future. And I want to say this to the young baller. Young baller, you see, if it is not working out for you, if it's not clicking, just simplify your game. You were trying way too hard last night and it just was not working. If it's not clicking, look, I would never try and limit a creative player's creativity. I will never try to do that. But boss, sometimes as a creative player, that spark is just not there. It's just not clicking. It was there in the game in Mobay and it was clicking for you, especially in the second half. It wasn't clicking for you last night. Just keep it simple. You know, it wasn't clicking and you still continue to try and overdo it. It's fine. Sometimes it doesn't click. Just simplify your game, boss. At times, less is more. And last night for you, less would have been more. Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I would point to as well is you were the one that had responsibility for the set pieces. It kind of baffled me that the set pieces were poor, you know, the quality that you were displaying on the set pieces, but yet still continue to take set pieces. Now, I don't know if that's an instruction from the coach. Probably the coach wants you to continue having that responsibility. And even if you're getting it wrong for now, he wants, for whatever reason, for you to keep on having that responsibility, you know, through the good times and through the bad times. Look, whether it's coaching, whether it's you, take that up on yourself to, you know, have that responsibility. Sometimes if it ain't working, it just ain't working. I would have liked to have seen someone else have more responsibility over the set pieces. Seeing, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Yet again, another poor display from the Reggae Boyz at home. You know, the dentist has some work to do. The dentist has some work to do. See, knock up the like button, subscribe, and share. Take care, guys. Stay safe. And until next time.